may be aware of the trade war between the United States and China, but do you know how it has spread to the Arctic? Today we venture into the complex world politics where the aspirations of nations intersect, unveiling a story that blurs the line between intrigue and reality. Embracing the journey. Have you ever felt lost in the complexity of global dynamics, yearning for clarity amidst the confusion? Take a moment to reflect. We have all been there, lost in the enigma of world affairs. In this video, we are unveiling the hidden truths beneath the surface. Set the stage. Consider yourself on the verge of a world where powers collide, narratives intertwine, and every move has global ramifications. Our destination? The Arctic is a place of ethereal beauty and complex machinations. The destinies of nations are entwined here, where economic interests, security concerns, and the quest for dominance converge. Immerse yourself in this intricate web of stories and paint a vivid picture of the grand panorama that's been unfolding. Now, let's zoom in even closer on this intricate geopolitical puzzle: Greenland. Nestled in the heart of North America, this autonomous region is a unique thread in the tapestry of global power dynamics. Once a Danish colony, Greenland's journey has been one of evolving identity and aspirations. Its transformation from Danish dominion to home rule and self-governance with the right to self-determination underscores its profound desire for independence. With only 56,000 inhabitants, a whopping 90% of whom are indigenous Inuit, Greenland's story resonates far beyond its icy shores. China's strategic pursuit. Picture China as a nation flexing its muscles on the world stage, with eyes that reach beyond its borders. Beijing's meteoric rise has set its sights on becoming a global powerhouse. As it stretches its wings across continents, it's also turning its gaze towards the Arctic, a region that, until recently, was shrouded in ice and obscurity. By declaring itself a near-Arctic state, it is staking a claim to the frigid expanse and all its potential riches. Beijing's vision extends far beyond just geographical proximity. Beneath the frozen surface of the Arctic lies an abundance of untapped resources: minerals, rare earths, and energy reserves that hold the key to future technological dominance. China's strategic ambitions involve securing control over these vital resources, not just for its economic growth, but to elevate its status as a global leader. The quest for dominance. Picture this: the Arctic as a vast chessboard, with its resources, trade routes, and strategic advantages up for grabs. China's ambitions extend beyond mere access. It's about asserting dominance. And as the ice retreats, it's unveiling shipping lanes that were once unimaginable. Beijing's interest in the Arctic is a calculated move, a push to secure control over these emerging trade routes and elevate its status on the global stage. Imagine, if you will, a puzzle piece that perfectly fits into a larger mosaic. The piece we're talking about is Greenland, and the mosaic is Beijing's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. This frigid island isn't just a distant land, it's a pivotal node in its global vision. As ice melts and new shipping lanes emerge, Greenland's waters gain significance in world trade. Due to its geographical compatibility with the connectivity-based BRI, Greenland might act as a major hub for trade-promoting maritime routes that connect continents. The frigid Arctic waters, once considered barriers, are transforming into bridges of opportunity. It is no ordinary quest for resources, it's a quest for supremacy. The Arctic's thawing ice presents new opportunities for maritime trade routes, which are becoming increasingly viable. China's investment in the Arctic isn't limited to today, it's a strategic bet on the future. By securing dominance over these emerging trade routes, it positions itself as a central player in shaping the flow of global commerce, enhancing its economic prowess. The United States responds. But every move has a countermove. Enter the United States, a nation keenly aware of the implication of China's expansionist vision. The USA has a history in the Arctic rooted in security concerns during the Cold War. And now, with Beijing's growing clout, Washington is recalibrating its Arctic strategy. Military maneuvers, strategic partnerships, and investment initiatives, the USA is determined to maintain its influence in this icy battleground. Former President Donald Trump wanted to buy Greenland from Denmark. He said back then, "Ownership of Greenland is hurting Denmark very badly because they're losing almost $700 million a year carrying it. so they carry it at a great loss, and strategically for the United States, it would be very nice, and we're a big ally of Denmark. We protect Denmark, we help Denmark, and we will. Looking ahead, increasing civil and military activity in the Arctic will call for expanded presence and surveillance. With the Danish government's defense agreement running until 2023, we will continue to strengthen our presence in the Arctic, and we appreciate the close cooperation with the US on Arctic affairs, including improving operational capabilities, said Danish Minister of Defense Claus Hjort Frederiksen. The United States is not standing idly by as China makes its moves. The thawing Arctic has ignited a new era of strategic competition, and the USA is responding with a combination of military preparedness and diplomatic engagement. Former U.S. Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, John Rood, signed a declaration of intent to invest in dual-use military and civilian infrastructure that was swiftly disseminated to the public via Facebook by the U.S. Embassy in Copenhagen. The U.S. Navy has reactivated its Second Fleet, responsible for guarding the northeastern part of the U.S. and all waters to the North Pole. The U.S. is also strengthening its partnerships with Arctic nations like Denmark and investing in infrastructure to reinforce its presence in the Arctic. Greenland, a strategic piece. Now, let's turn our focus to Greenland, a seemingly remote island that's become a pawn in this global game. As Beijing's eyes glimmer with interest, the United States is not far behind. Greenland's vast mineral deposits and strategic location are casting a spell on these superpowers. It's as though the island's fate is intertwined with the geopolitical balance, and its choices will echo far beyond its frozen shores. The ice is melting as the temperature rises. It makes it easier to mine here, said Exploration CEO Bent Olsvig Jensen. Greenland, often associated with ice and isolation, has emerged as a hotspot for great power competition. With a quarter of the world's reserves of rare earth minerals, Greenland is a treasure trove that Beijing seeks to tap into for its technological needs. The United States, on the other hand, has deep historical and military ties with Greenland, making it an indispensable player in the region's future. As Greenland eyes greater autonomy, it's caught between the allure of foreign investment and the desire to shape its destiny. Expert Insights Unveiled. And now, we introduce you to our guides, Anne-Marie Brady, a renowned China scholar, and Heinrich Breitenbach, a security analyst. Anne-Marie Brady's deep dive into Beijing's polar ambitions unveils how it views the Arctic as a strategic frontier, just like outer space and the high seas. China has studied other great powers. John F. Kennedy talked about how a great power will be able to be dominant in outer space and on the high seas, and China has added the polar regions and the cyber domain as new strategic territories that are owned by no one. China is expanding into areas of the world where there is room to move and where it is a question of whether you have the capacity, the human resources, and the financial resources to expand into them, says Anne-Marie Brady. She added, Greenland is important and interesting to Beijing because it is in the Arctic, it has strategic resources, and it is increasingly autonomous. Beijing is always interested in soon-to-be independent states. Greenland is strategically significant, as other great powers have known. The US has had bases there for a long time, and it would be useful for China to have a satellite station there for the Beidou system. So many elements make Greenland interesting to Beijing as part of its overall Arctic agenda. Heinrich Breitenbach's analysis sheds light on the US response, explaining that the United States' focus on the Arctic is a reflection of its shifting military priorities with a renewed emphasis on defense and strategic presence. He said, it could lead to a massive increase in American military, in particular airborne, capacities in Greenland. Because of the extreme conditions and enormous distances, even the temporary deployment of limited numbers of advanced fighter planes will demand very large operative and logistical support structures with men and material on the ground. It would be at a level we have not seen since the Cold War. Navigating the geopolitical maze. Imagine China establishing scientific outposts in the Arctic. Surely, it's all about climate research, right? But that's only a fraction of the story. These outposts serve as springboards for resource extraction, bolstering defense capabilities, and securing strategic autonomy. And then there's the Beidou system, a satellite navigation network that's not just about convenience but is a pillar of Beijing's navigation strategy in the polar expanse. China's scientific outposts in the Arctic are far from mere research endeavors. They're strategic footholds that lay the groundwork for future resource extraction, providing a gateway to the region's untapped riches. The Beidou system, often compared to the US's GPS network, is a testament to Beijing's ambition to be self-reliant even in the most extreme conditions. With ground-receiving facilities across the Arctic, China is enhancing its navigation capabilities and ensuring its sovereignty over its polar interests. A tug-of-war and strategic crossroads. As the grand narrative unfolds, Greenland stands at a crossroads, pulled by the gravity of two global giants. But Greenland isn't a passive observer. It's a player in its own right. With dreams of sovereignty and aspirations for economic growth, it treads a delicate path, navigating the currents of power rivalry. Greenland's choices aren't just about economic prosperity. They're about shaping the contours of international dynamics. Greenland's choices have profound implications. Its journey toward economic growth and independence is entangled with the decisions of superpowers. The tug-of-war between China and the United States reflects the island's pivotal position in the global arena. While Chinese investment could offer economic independence, it also raises concerns about debt traps and the loss of autonomy. This strategic dance often involves powerful nations extending financial assistance to developing countries only to exert influence and control in return. An emblematic example is the Hambantota port in Sri Lanka. China's financial infusion resulted in Sri Lanka ceding control of this crucial port, stirring debates about sovereignty compromised for economic gains. The debt trap narrative adds another layer to Greenland's story, underscoring the intricacies of global power plays. On the other hand, the United States seeks to ensure its interests and security in the region through closer engagement with Greenland. The island's journey is a microcosm of the broader geopolitical struggle. The security tension among big powers is affecting Greenland, which seeks economic growth for independence in the future, said University of Greenland professor Rasmus Lander Nielsen. Conclusion and invitation. So there you have it, the intricate tapestry of global powers, ambitions, and a frigid frontier that holds the world's attention. But this is just one thread in the larger fabric of geopolitics. As we bid farewell to this chapter, I invite you to continue your exploration by diving into another video in our collection. Each video is a unique gateway to understanding the complexities that shape our world. Remember to hit that subscribe button, share your insights in the comments below, and together, let's keep the flame of curiosity burning bright. Until we meet again, fellow explorers, remember that the journey of discovery is ongoing and the next captivating story awaits your eager gaze.